Hi, guys. Welcome. All
Hello.
right. We're excited about this topic tonight. And speaking of technology, just got to make sure everything's working correctly. And while I'm doing that, babe, you want to read them that statistic? So welcome.
Absolutely.
Oh, really quick. Guys, this is where we're going to be meeting from now on. Every Monday night at 8 p.m. Join us right here. This is going to be the spot where we're going to go live. And make sure that you're sharing and inviting. So many of you guys have been so supportive and so awesome at telling us how much you're loving these. So we're going to do more, but we need you guys to show up and hit that share button for us so that it's impacting lots of people.
Absolutely. And any ideas that they have that they want us to cover as well, we'd be glad to do that. But love, super encouraging to hear multiple people just, saying how much they enjoy it. So we're glad to spend the time with you. Today, we're going to take on something I'm super passionate about. Did we start this last year? Might have been last year, 18 months ago, probably 2 years. Yeah, you're right. So as usual, to catch that.
I did.
2 years ago, we just saw technology kind of taking over a little bit. So, we literally started a war on technology in our house and used these rules to help. So here are some statistics that you should read. See how
awesome. Yeah, that was great. I couldn't find what I needed to share with you guys anyways. All right. So in this book that we're going to be sharing with you guys, a lot of the stuff that we learned is from this book, The TechWise Family. We'll put it in the comments by Andy Crouch. But in there, he says, what makes it more difficult to raise kids today? And guess what? The number one answer was 65% of people said technology and social media. Amazing, right? And when they did a different study, they said, raising kids today is more complicated than it was when I was a kid. Do you agree or disagree, or neither agree nor disagree, or somewhat disagree, or strongly disagree? And 44% says strongly agree. So if you agree that social media and technology makes it harder for kids who are growing up today, put a 1 in the comments below. Mm-hmm. And if you think that's all silly, you totally disagree with it, put a 2 in the comments below. But we're going to share with you guys.
Wait. If your parents walked uphill both ways to school in the snow, put a 3 in the comments below.
My parents did.
I know, mine too. Everything's harder back in the day, right?
Yeah.
But no, all in seriousness. All right, where are we going?
Yeah, let's do it. So
let's do it.
What happened for us was, our kids now are, I guess you call them 14 and 12. But what we started to notice was, the things just changing. I mean, we've had technology in our lives since our kids were born. That was something we already had. Mm-hmm. But now they want to be involved and how, they perceive things and what's going on and how much time they're using and things that we were noticing in our house. So
right. I mean, just kind of reading through the book and reading some of the stats, it was just scary to us. And, Blair and I talked about it. It was just one of those things that we wanted to make sure that we had set rules in place for the house to at least try to make technology a benefit, right? Because it's a huge benefit.
Right.
And so we want to remove the negative things and just kind of limit it, set some rules and guidelines. I know that having 2 teenage boys, protecting them from themselves is the biggest thing for me.
Right.
They're 1-2 clicks away from a lot of things that they shouldn't see.
Girls too.
Right. Yeah. And girls too. And you can say things now that you can't take back.
Right.
And send things now that you can't take back. So we just decided to really take this, head on. And it's been an experience. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Right. It's crazy, right? Well, and I will tell you guys, one of my friends today, I won't say who it was asking me, she's like, oh, when your son gets in the car, like, does he talk to you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, can you have conversations with him? It's so frustrating at this age. And I just said, honestly, I think the one thing that has helped us the most, and let's start with that one.
Yes.
Right. One of the rules that we implemented in our house,
biggest game changer,
was cars are for conversation. And what that meant was there's no looking at your phone in the car, right? We're also producing boys that are going to be driving, right? So we want to teach them those skills now that, like, we're not supposed to be looking at our phone while we're in the car. How many of you guys, be honest, look at the phone while you're in the car? All right. If that's you, put an emoji in the comments, right? Because it happens and it's so horrible. So our kids hold us accountable too, because the whole thing is cars are for conversation.
Right.
So what ends up happening is I have these really great conversations with my kids, but I can tell you when they get into my car, I'll tell you the difference. When they get into my car and I am working really quick, like I'm trying to finish up a call, when they get in my car, they immediately get out their phones. Then when I'm off the call and they get off their phones, they don't start talking.
Right.
It's not the same.
Right.
So having them just converse with you in the car and be engaged, it's completely different.
Right. I agree. And so it was a battle at first. And warning, if you implement this rule, then you have to follow it too, because they'll call you out on it. They're always watching.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
They're watching. So
Totally.
another quick warning is if you're on a trip and you're trying to do cars are for conversation, it might not be easy. I can remember distinctly Blair and I in the car on our way somewhere, and before we implemented this rule, they'd be quiet, right? Because they were doing their iPads, iPads or whatever technology, and all of a sudden we take it away and they're hitting each other, they're annoying each other. It was just like, okay, all right.
Right, it's true.
Serenity now. So,
now, there are obviously, now we go on long car trips, like, let's be real. We have set times that they're not going to be on the technology, and then set times that they're allowed to be on the technology. So I do think we want to make sure we say that.
Yeah, early in the morning, we usually, like the first 45 minutes or an hour, we just make them sit in the car, and then they really appreciate it, when they have it. The best example I can tell you is that I coach sixth grade basketball and middle school basketball for Jeremiah and for Noah. And it was the most amazing thing when I would drive kids, and there'd be like 3 or 4 Jeremiah's friends, and Jeremiah would go, "Hey, you gotta put your phone away. Cars are for conversation." Right. And his friends would look at him like, "What? He's joking, right?" And I'm like, "No, guys, seriously, the cars are for conversation. Put your phones away." And even though it was only a 15-minute drive, they actually had real conversations.
Right.
It was about basketball or the latest move or football or depending, but it was really, really cool. Just to watch that interaction change as soon as you took it out of their hand.
So true. And you get to hear those conversations that the kids are having, and really get to see their true friends and things in the situations that are going on, right?
And it doesn't always work. Sometimes Noah and I will have a 15-minute just silence,
right?
Where the music will be playing. Jeremiah usually starts talking to you right away.
Yeah.
So every kid's different. Just let it set in and stick with it. And it's been a huge benefit. So that was the number one.
Yep. All right. So that was a huge rule that we implemented with our technology. What was it? Another one.
The second biggest one for me.
It's Ryan's favorite.
Yes, it is absolutely my favorite. So anyone that has, if you work from home.
Who works from home in
right,
here? Let us know. Put it in the comments. I work from home. If you work from home.
I work some from home.
Right.
I work all over the place.
I work from anywhere.
Yeah.
And so does Ryan. So we are here at the same time. Kids are walking in the door. You're in the middle of finishing up something for work, or I get up early because I want to finish up something for work before they get up, but all of a sudden everybody's up, right?
Yeah.
I know you guys can relate.
Yeah. So anyway, the biggest thing for us, and it was just like, I never mind if Blair's going to work, but I just want to know that she's working, rather than if we're in the kitchen and she's there and I try to talk to her and you're on your phone,
right?
I'm interrupting you. So we actually came up with designated workspaces. So when Blair has to do a work text, it's super simple. She just picks up her phone, she goes in her office and starts doing it. And then she's not there. The same thing for me. And I forget the stat, but it's something like it takes you 10 minutes once you're interrupted to get back into focusing on what you're doing. So it's impossible for us to be having a conversation, then you look at your phone, just let me do this quick text, blah, 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 do the quick text, and then come back and be fully present with whatever we were doing.
Right. That goes back to there's no such thing as truly multitasking.
Yes, babe, good job.
Which I'm not really sure as a mom, I totally agree with that.
Anyway, we'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
Another thing for the designated places is having 2 teenage boys. We make sure that their iPads and their iPhones are never in the bathrooms. We have signs up.
Yeah.
Literally signs.
We literally have signs on their bathroom door that says no technology in the bathroom.
Yeah. So we do that. We have it's a peninsula in the kitchen, right? That we have all the iPads, all the phones, all the chargers right there. That's where it needs to be. And
even their friends know that. And you know what? That also gives us an extra protection for our kids, because I don't ever want somebody's kids to stay at my house and something to happen in my kid's bedroom, right? That then the parent has to come back to me and say, why do they have phones in their room?
Right.
Or did you know this was going on, or whatever. So I love that that's our rule. And again, if you empower your kids, at first they're going to fight you. They didn't want cars or conversation. They still don't. But we've empowered them that these are our family rules. So we talk about them quite often. So last night, one of our kids' friends spent the night. I woke up this morning. I was so proud because I was so tired last night, and I went to bed and forgot to say something, which usually I'm the one that says something. Ryan and I both. And this morning I woke up and I saw that boy's phone on the counter. And we have like a charging station. His phone was charging in the charging station. Like, they just know. And, you know, that's also what you want to do, is teaching them these skills, because they're going to go off to college. They're going to go off, you know, to the real world. And you don't want them bringing their phones to bed with them at night, right?
No, I totally agree. Same thing goes along with the designated places. One thing that's helped us is, like, when we go out to dinner, we purposely leave our phone in the car or in the purse or in your pocket, and it's a battle, right? Because you want, it's an endorphin rush. You want to see who needs you, what emergency, what can I check, what notification did I get? It's like,
dopamine hit.
Dopamine, thank you, that's the right word. And if it's your work as well, then it's double. So for your marriage, for your parenthood, for your family time, it's okay. Just designate, I think we try to do an hour.
Yeah.
Just with no phones.
And there's a really fun game when you go out with your girlfriends. This might be something fun to do, or if you go out with a couple friends, where everybody puts their phone in the middle of the table, and whoever grabs the phone first has to pay for the meal that night for everybody. Ugh. So guess what happens? Nobody wants to touch their phone, because nobody wants to have to pay for the whole dinner.
But everybody does want to touch their phone.
But they want to touch their phone, but they don't do it, right? And the conversations are so much better. I feel like it's hard even with your friends now as adults, because we're always checking our phones. Listen, my parents, who are in their almost 80s, they will literally pick up a phone call in the middle of dinner with us. I'm like, what is going on
right now?
Yeah, I don't think they don't follow me on Facebook. They follow me on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
They're like very in the technology. So.
Yep. So that's a good one. And then I think the one now we're to the.
So one of the great things that we learned from that book that we were sharing with you guys, the TechWise Family, that we'll put the link in the comments, is they say to implement this strategy into your home, and it's 1 hour per day is tech free.
Designated, on purpose, scheduled.
Yep. So it's pre-scheduled. So for some of you guys, that's probably easy, right? You're like, oh, dinner. Well, like, we're done with dinner in 15 minutes.
Yep.
Like, seriously, that's a good dinner.
In the morning, I would say, right?
Yeah. So we have devotion time in the morning. That's a designated. They're not really allowed to look at their phones before school. So that's a good designated hour. The second rule with that is 1 day per week is tech free. And then the third rule with that is 1 week per year is tech free. So we'll tell you guys, like, we're totally honest. You guys know that we're transparent about things. The number 2 one is very hard for us, because 1 whole day a week, we both work from our phones. That's our business. So we don't do 1 full day, but we pretty much do a half day on Sunday. After we get back.
Right. What we try to do is we shut down. We have family night. So we shut down at like 5 or 6, where, on Saturday night. So my phone's in the bedroom, Blair's is in the office or whatever. And we spend family time together, and it's amazing. And then when we wake up Sunday, as soon as the kids are up, we're right plugged back into the family. So it's kind of like we get an evening and a morning together. Just let your brain relax and really focus on each other. I can't tell you, everybody tells you when your kids are 4 and 2 how time flies. Pretty soon they'll be in teenagers. And then, when they're in college, everyone tells you, time flies. Time flies. The kids are 14 and 12.
When they were little, people used to say the days are long, but the years are short. And I would have to agree with that more. Because those days were long, moms.
Yes.
They were long.
Yes.
But the years did go fast. And like now we have like 6.5 years and we have no kids in the house anymore. So
yeah. So win the war on technology, make some quality time, make the decisions. We have what we call in our house no tech week. It's really like no TV week. It is the longest week. We hear the most complaints about it. But guess what? We end up playing games together. We go to sleep earlier. We read books. It's just, I can't tell you how much it benefits. A lot of times we'll do it on vacation, which is a huge thumbs up, because there's actually other things to do.
Right. But that's why we try to do like active vacations. So there's things to do.
Awesome. Active vacations. So you're going to post about the
Yes.
book?
So I'm going to share with you guys in the comments below the name of the book, but I'm also going to share with you guys a blog that I did on blaircritch.com. I'll put that link in the comments as well. And it's, have you ever used technology as a babysitter? But in there, it gives you guys all these things that we are sharing. It also gives you guys, I'm trying to wrap this up because we're really trying to keep it short, but I will tell you guys, one of the great things that's in there is something that I learned at my kids' school a year ago when I went to a technology seminar, which is, listen, you've got to teach your kids these rules now. You've got to teach them how to use technology. You can't just say, no, we're not going to have this. No, you're not going to learn this. You need to learn it with your kids and learn how to use technology. Like, you can't just let your kids have Snapchat and Instagram and all these different things if you're not on there. Like, do you know what goes on there? Do you know the things that are going on? And that's what I really loved about that seminar, because it was saying this is their future. It might not be what we're used to, but it is what they're going to be used to, because right now, like, my kids in middle school use iPads, and then in high school they use computers, and when they get to college they're going to be using computers, and then when they go to their job, by the time my kids get jobs, there's going to be no brick and mortar buildings. It's going to be all cloud-based business. So they need to learn the rules to establish for their own lives of when to have real relationships with people and not hide behind technology, and when technology is okay. And so that's what you're truly trying to teach them. Relationships are more important than your technology, but technology does have a place. And so that's really important. So if this was really awesome for you guys today, or you felt like it'd be valuable for maybe somebody else, hey Carrie, somebody else who has kids or is going through this right now.
Needs a guideline.
Yes.
Like any guideline. Just start with 1 hour a day and Cars Are for Conversation, and it'll change your lives.
Totally. So make sure you hit that share button and share with us. And join us back here next Monday at 8 p.m. We'll be covering different topics each week. And thank you so much to everybody who gave us great names. We still haven't picked a name, but we are still searching and trying to decide on a name. So we appreciate all of your suggestions and your help. And check out the blog that I'll put in the comments below, and check out that book because it's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
High-fiving?
Sure, if you want to. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have
Thank
a good
you.
night.